In an episode a few weeks ago, we talked about the difference between contributing versus contaminating on the court for your team. Well, today I'm going to share the simple question that you should ask yourself every day as a high school basketball player to keep you on the right side of that equation. Let's jump in and discuss. Welcome back to Hard Smart Together. I'm Coach Dave. I'm here every week to help basketball players become the smart, confident players that coaches love. So just a quick review from a few weeks ago. If you did catch that episode or if you didn't catch that episode, we were talking about the difference between contributing versus contaminating, okay? And in that episode, I told you an old saying. There's an old saying that goes, if you're not contributing, then you're contaminating, okay? And so you've got to actually focus on being a contributor sometime and not contaminating. Now, in that episode a few weeks ago, we talked about some different ways that you could contribute to your team. And there's a bunch of ways that you can become a contributor or continue being a contributor. One that we talked about is creating a winning atmosphere in the gym with your voice. Right? Celebrating the small wins in a practice or a game, giving reminders to your teammates, helping be an organizer, that positive buzz that you feel in a gym when you walk in the door, that noise that you hear, because a quiet gym is a losing gym. Okay? The other things that we talked about helping your teammates, right? It's not always a competition between you and your teammates for playing time. If you're really focused on the success of your team, then you want to help your teammates become better basketball players, become better people, help them in any way you can. You want to help your teammates. Then the third thing we talked about a few weeks ago was, energy vampires and not being the energy vampire that brings the negative energy. You've got to bring the positive energy, right? You can't suck the energy out of the room by being an energy vampire. We gave you some examples in that episode of how not to be an energy vampire. Well, today I want to continue and give you a simple question that you can ask yourself as a basketball player every day. And you should, and I want you to create a habit of that will make you focus on being a contributor. Now, before I give you that question, always like to give you a free gift just for spending some time with me today. So if you haven't already downloaded the 8 intangible skills that coaches love to see in players, this is a great checklist. It's a reminder of skills you can show off both on and off the court, give you some ways that you can show them off, and simply go to the link in the description below, or you can go to hardsmarttogether.com/intangibles, and I'll be sure to get you that free checklist. Okay. So, what is this question? Well, before I get to the question, I'd like to remind you, I love player journals. If you've followed me for any period of time, I've encouraged you to make a journal for you as a basketball player, okay, to kind of carry through your career. We've used it in the past when it comes to planning your improvement steps. We've used it on goal setting. We've used it on some mindset activities, okay? And so if you've started a player's journal, it's going to come in handy because I'm going to want you to make a daily entry in that player's journal going forward. If you haven't, that's okay. It can be as simple as start with a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, okay? Start with, a blank page. Find yourself a notebook, okay? Don't have to overcomplicate it. But at the end of every day, I want you to ask yourself a question. And that question is simply this: what did I do today to contribute to my team's success? What did I do today to contribute to my team's success? Okay? And then I want you to answer that question with an entry in your journal. Okay? It doesn't have to be a big, long dissertation. It doesn't have to be multiple pages. It doesn't even have to be a paragraph. But what it does, when you start asking yourself that question every day, is focus on your contributions. And you know that you're going to ask that question tomorrow. So when you show up tomorrow to practice, to the game, to the meeting, to whatever it is, to the workout, you're going to sit there and you're going to say, oh, I'm going to have to answer that question. I better start contributing, right? It gets you to focus on contributions. And maybe you're going to find out, sometimes it's hard to make an entry. Maybe you were that energy vampire that day. Maybe you were contaminating a little bit that day. It's okay, because there's always tomorrow. And you know that tomorrow you're going to make a journal entry on your, so you'll start looking for ways to contribute to your team's success. We're not talking about contributing to your own career. We're not talking about contributing to you getting better. We're not talking about selfish contributions that you might make. Now, maybe you getting better is contributing to your team's success. That's fine too. But I want you to focus on your team's success, because those are the kind of players that coaches love. Whether it's your high school coach, your club coach, your future college coach, your future boss someday when you have a job. This is a great exercise. What did I do today to contribute to my team's success? When you're focused on your team's success and you're doing things to contribute, people want you on their team, whether it's a basketball team, an academic team, a company team someday. People want you on their team. So this is a great habit to get into. And that's why I want you to do it every day. And that's why I want you to make an entry in your journal every day, because that creates a habit, right? And I want this to become one of those positive habits that you incorporate in your basketball career. And like I said, you might take it forward through the rest of your life. So, quick episode today, a quick exercise, but so important for your focus going forward. Now, if this question, if this exercise in your journal was helpful, give me a like. Give me a comment on, if you have a player's journal that you're going to incorporate this, or let me know if maybe this is the thing that's going to get you to go out and get a notebook and start building your player's journal. And until next week, remember to play hard, play smart, and play till you get there. See you next week.